Hello, and how is everyone out there doing? My name is Ryan with Fight Game Analysis, and today we are going to be talking about Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia. My first thoughts. If you've been enjoying the content, please go ahead and like this video and also subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate your support. When I first heard this fight got announced, immediately I got excited. This is one that we've been waiting for a long time. Everybody's been talking about it. These are both two guys who've been at the top of the division for a while. So naturally, you had to figure it was just a matter of time before they were going to square off. Right after that, the thing that I thought was, man, it's going to be a rough day for Danny Garcia. I know a lot of people like him. I know he's seen a lot of success in the past. But I have to be honest when I say I think this is a bad matchup for him. Errol Spence is a bigger fighter. He's a stronger fighter. He's more versatile. He's a southpaw. I don't think this one is going to go well for Danny. Now, I understand why he took the fight and why everybody is excited and looking forward to it. But think about how they're going to match up in the ring for a second. Now, I haven't gone and broken down all the tape and handicapped it. And I'm going to. I mean, the fight isn't until like November 20th or November 21st, I think, somewhere around there. So I've got some time. These are just some initial thoughts on it. But when they match up in the ring, and you think about how their styles are going to play out. Okay, you've got Danny. Now, he's a very good fighter. Typically, he feels more comfortable playing somewhat of a counterpuncher role. He's kind of flat-footed. He'll back up a little bit. He'll apply pressure when it needs be, but primarily, he likes to play the counterpuncher. And his main weapon as a counterpuncher is that left hook. That's not really going to go too well against a southpaw. There's very few orthodox fighters out there who can land consistent, solid left hooks against a southpaw. The first one that comes to my mind is Juan Manuel Marquez. Usually when you're fighting a southpaw, your primary weapon is going to be a right hand. Now, Danny's got a decent right hand. You see him, he goes out there, he lands it on guys on occasion, he does his thing. But he doesn't really use it to counter. He uses it when he's being more aggressive, and it's easier when you use it and you're trying to get off first. Above and beyond that, he doesn't actually shoot it really straight. If you watch it, he loops it a lot. You know, and he's got an awkward style in the way that he throws it. Now, it's fine, he gets it off and everything, but we're not talking about how he gets it off against, Lucas Matisse. We're talking about how he's going to do against Errol Spence. I don't think he's going to be able to land it with the regularity that he needs to. Not to mention the fact that that's not even really his power punch. His power punch, even though he's a righty, his power punch is that left hook. That's where he does all of his damage with. Think about when he, KO'd Eric Morales. Think about when he smoked Amir Khan. It's all great work with the left hook. That right hand, I don't think he's going to be able to gain the respect from Errol Spence that he's going to need to keep him off. Because Errol Spence is a pressure fighter. He's a guy who likes to come forward. Oh, and by the way, he works that body ferociously. The man's got a dedicated and ferocious body attack, the likes of which we haven't seen in a long time, particularly at welterweight. There's been some great body punchers throughout history, but at 147 pounds and anybody in recent memory, he's the man. He's the man. A lot of people like to call him a weight bully. He's big for the division. He could never make it down to 140 pounds. Right? He fought amateur at 152 when he went to the Olympics. But Danny turned pro at 147. He's the naturally smaller man. On top of that, let's look at some of the guys that Danny Garcia had problems with in the past. Sean Porter. That's why Porter was on my mind. But Sean Porter is one of the guys. He had a problem with Porter's pressure. Errol Spence applies a lot of pressure. Now, it's not as reckless or as just full throttle all the way into the clinch that Sean Porter does. But the fact that Danny Garcia had so many problems with the pressure that Sean Porter applies, I think he's going to have problems with that pressure that Errol Spence applies as well. He also had problems with speed. Now, I know Garcia ended up knocking Amir Khan out, but look at before he landed that first counter left hook. The first one was the one that spun him around, knocked him down. I think it was in the third round. If you look at everything that happened prior to that left hook landing, Danny Garcia had major problems with the speed of Amir Khan. He also had problems with the speed of Sean Porter. Danny's not known for his speed. The thing that makes him who he is his timing. Now, normally, timing beats speed. Okay? And how has Danny used his timing to beat speed in the past? That left hook. That's his bread and butter. That's his go-to. But again, I don't think he's going to be able to land that against a southpaw. You look at the way he did it against Ivan Redkach. He wasn't really getting off with the left hook like that. That's really not his go-to. And then the loss that wasn't really a loss when Danny Garcia fought Mauricio Herrera down in Puerto Rico. Herrera beat him with a jab. He walked him down and backed him up at times with a jab. If Danny Garcia can't get that left hook off, it's typically going to be some trouble. And Errol Spence isn't going to let him get that off. So, man, I am super happy that they made this fight. In boxing, it's been far too long where we've seen the best in the divisions ducking each other, not wanting to go. Or even if they do want to fight, you see problems with promoters back and forth, or problems with television networks and people who won't do business with other people. It's ridiculous. That's not what it's supposed to be about. So I'm incredibly grateful and really looking forward to this fight happening. I'm super happy that both guys were willing to make it happen and that they were able to work out whatever garbage needed to be worked out behind the scenes and that they could put this fight on. So I'm really looking forward to it. That being said, I think I know how it's going to play out. I don't think it's going to end up being a good night for Danny Garcia. However, in between now and then, I'm going to be putting out a few more videos about this fight and really breaking it down, looking at all the ins and the outs, and just exactly how this one's going to play out. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Again, if you've been enjoying the content, please just go ahead and like this video and also subscribe to the channel. And let me know what you guys think. Does Danny Garcia got a chance in this one?